me now?
No.
Hello and welcome to episode number 151 of Unrelenting. The rumors of our demise has been slightly exaggerated. I'm Darren O'Neill. He's Gene Nifterliff.
Yeah, so we're not dead?
Let me check here. I mean, to be fair, it is pill time, I think. So, we have Scott Adams has the simultaneous sip. We go, and mine sound way smaller than yours. You must have way
mine
more.
sound like horse bills.
Yeah, those sound way bigger. The biggest thing I got in here is a CoQ10, so there's that. And then a bunch of small pills. So, Scott Adams.
I don't take that one.
He can eat his heart out. He's got his simultaneous sip. We got the simultaneous pill taking, which
That's
means
right.
You better listen to the show at the time you're supposed to take your pill. Otherwise, just take extras, not medical advice.
Not medical advice is all we do.
The show really should be called Not Medical Advice.
Would be a great name.
Like, well, what is it? Well, it's a lot of it's a lot of not medical advice.
Medical non-advice or not medical advice?
Exactly. I'm kind of mixing in the compressor today for the stream to see if that makes things sound any better. It's a very basic.
After 3 years, let's try changing something.
It's a very basic compressor, but that way, instead of trying to ride the knobs the whole show, everything looks good, though. Here, looking at the recording, I see my recording, I see your recording, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And you broke some scientific news that I guess a lot of people had forgotten, which is busting your friend's balls is healthy.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
Because this is how we grew up. There were no safe spaces. There was no, oh no, he said something to make me mad. And we've looked scientifically at people who take part in this, and they are much more well-adjusted human beings. Yeah. Who knew? Being mean to your friends.
Everyone up until the 1990s.
Yeah. Being mean to your friends is healthy. I can't even imagine high school taking that out of the equation. I don't know what you would ever talk about.
Well, I think you just all sit and stare at phones and not talk.
Well, this is probably true. See, but now you can be mean to people all the way around the world instantaneously. It's great.
Well, as long as you're, friends with them.
Right. If you're not friends, it's called war, I guess.
It's called war. Well, I don't know if it goes quite that far, but certainly there was another video I posted, which was pretty damn funny. You
usually get at least one funny one a month.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's about the ratio.
Guy talking about how the internet is great for sucking energy out of people.
And that it is. Literally and figuratively.
And all you got to do is just, so he's got it in the video. He's got some PhD person talking about some topic and is, just posts a short response. Like, that's not how gravity works. Go read a book. That's so true. That's so true, man.
Well,
there's nothing like putting a short little message that just sort of triggers a whole bunch, not just that one person, but a whole bunch of people to jump on both sides. And half of them will start defending the person saying, oh, you're a moron. I can't believe you would tell that to somebody that's got a degree in gravity. And then half of the other people would be like, yeah, this guy's an idiot. I PhD, that stands for piled higher, deeper. And then you can walk away. Like, you don't have to do anything other than smile at the chaos that you've created.
Yeah, the anger machine is not difficult to start.
No.
And that's the beauty of social media. And they realized that a long time ago. And it's been discussed ad nauseum that if you make somebody mad, they're way more likely to stay on your platform and engage than if you post something that makes them happy.
I myself doing this too. I had a message somebody left on one of my videos recently because obviously I have way more people watching my YouTube than this show.
Well, yeah, Atlas Rand Gaming. Everybody should get on the tubes and subscribe.
It's the happening channel out there for gaming on.
That's where Gene takes Sudafed, games all night, and falls asleep.
I do not take Sudafed. That's illegal. But
really, when did Sudafed become illegal?
90s.
No, because you can make the bad stuff with it.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. Yeah.
No meth lab in Gene's basement.
No meth labs at all.
Nope.
Back in the good old days when you can buy ephedrine over the counter. Oh boy.
Yeah, they wouldn't even ask for your license or anything.
Oh, it was great, man. Oh, I bought so much ephedrine.
You could just load up the whole grocery cart.
Still have some in the garage. Anyway.
Hey, that's right. Are they under the ponchos to keep them safe? That would be good.
I know, right? I'm like, hey, I had this great idea for making custom ephedrine. Anyway, so somebody posted like, God, you're a shitty small YouTuber. You're always going to be a shitty small YouTuber because you have stupid titles and you don't know what you're doing. And I was thinking of, in knee-jerk reactions replying, well, you're a moron. and then I clicked on the guy's name to see who this is. That's such an asshole. I look at it. It's his YouTube profile he's been around since 2006. He's got 6 subscribers.
Ooh, that's good.
Never YouTube posted a video. I'm like, oh my God, yes, I know exactly the person that this is. I know the character. I don't need to know the individual, but yes, this is the person who gets off on getting responses to these kinds of messages. So I did the only checkmate move you can do at that point.
You shot him?
Yeah, essentially. I blocked him. So no comments from him will ever be on my YouTube channel. And that's why blocking people is a good thing. I keep explaining this, and so many people keep arguing that, no, you should not block because freedom of speech. Like, no, dumbass. There's no freedom of speech, first of all. That's only with government. And secondly, it's not speech on YouTube or any other platforms. It's interaction. And I don't need to interact with somebody who is a energy vampire, which is what that is.
It was probably the same person that messaged. I forget what platform it was on. It was either X or the Fediverse. And the comment was something like, hey, you're a good third-tier podcaster. Stay in your lane.
Exactly. Something like that. Yeah.
And I was thinking, I finally made it up to the third tier. Woo!
Yeah, you didn't realize that he actually gave you a compliment.
I am moving on up, but I've been engaging the block feature on X so much. My theory now is basically if I block every account I don't want to see, the X will finally be better. And here's what happened. It took about a week, and I'm not kidding about this.
Yeah.
Every time I went on to X, it was trying to throw me something that obviously was going viral. Almost always somebody with millions, if not, probably the minimum was like 500,000 followers.
Yeah.
These are the accounts they're pushing. And for a week, every time I went on, and that was the first thing on my timeline, I hit block. This morning I got up, I went on to X, the first thing on my timeline, Sir Gene. I'm like, finally, it's working.
Yeah.
And I didn't block you, though.
Well, that's good. It's, there's definitely something going on with the algorithm, because one thing I noticed is my engagement is way the hell off.
A lot of people are complaining about that.
Yeah, for a while there, it picked up to where, when I post something, it was getting seen hundreds of times or commented on or thumbs up or whatever, little hearts, whatever. Point is, there's some kind of engagement happening. And that is completely gone. Now, I might log on once in 24 hours and I'll see 2 engagements. And I've posted like 30 posts.
Is this Elon's way of getting everybody off the internet?
Maybe. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I have nothing monetarily tied to X, unlike a lot of people who actually make money off of it. And so I don't really care. It is a pure 100% vanity thing and nothing more. Honestly, YouTube is kind of in the same boat, but I don't have to do things to try and get more engagement. If I do, that's cool. I mean, I'm certainly going to be, smiling about it, but if not, it doesn't really affect me.
Right. Now, I'm curious if a lot of these things that have been pushed onto my timeline are these things people are paying to promote. I'm never really sure.
It could be. Yeah. But I think the bigger issue for me isn't that are these things people are paying to promote. Are the posts that I'm making and the replies I'm making being not seen at all. Because in fact, this was the biggest complaint about Facebook about 15 years ago, if you remember, is that back in the day when Facebook was still being utilized by people who aren't geriatric, when it started, you had a timeline that consisted of 100% posts by people you follow.
Right.
And then it started having ads inserted. And then it started having people you don't follow showing up on your timeline. And you had no control over any of this. It was just sort of like, this is what we give you. And that did two things for Facebook. One is it allowed them to sell advertising that doesn't look like advertising. And two is that it made people start looking for alternatives to Facebook.
Right.
And look for things like Twitter. Because when you lose control of what is presented to you, you're no longer the customer, you're the product.
Right, which they all went to the algo method of what they wanted to show you.
Yeah.
Now,
and this is because sorry to interrupt you there, but all these things. You are not. I am. It's been like a month. Take it while you got it. It'll go away soon. But remember, all these things started off as basically public bulletin boards.
Right. Oh, yeah. And there were public bulletin boards.
Back in the day.
Which were and all the public bulletin boards were threaded chronologically.
Yeah, exactly. Either chronological or threaded. I mean, the fancier ones were threaded. The simpler ones were just pure chronological with no threading. But the idea is that you're following a story in real time, right? People are complaining, they're talking, they're agreeing, they're disagreeing, but whatever's happening, you're following the narrative of what's going on there. And then when you have threading, you've got different topics that you can follow where you see all the messages related to that particular topic.
Right.
Which is an even more, condensed version, if you will. What they're doing on X and what they were doing on Facebook, I assume they still are. I haven't logged into Facebook in 20 years now, but what they were doing is taking that model, which people like, apart, and replacing it with the newspaper model with occasional articles written by your friends. Yeah. Like, I don't have any interest in reading a newspaper with a bunch of random people that has a few things that my friends wrote as well.
And that's what X is turning into. I want the option.
It's absolutely, yes.
And I'm paying, and I don't, I don't think that should be a requirement for this, but the technology is
the only
there.
reason I'm paying is for Grok, honestly, and not for really X.
But give us the option.
If they decouple those, if they could just say, here's what you pay and you just get Grok and it doesn't include an upgraded X account, I would happily do it because I post on X more than I actually read on X, to be honest.
Well, because it's impossible now to find anything interesting because I am not somebody that, every now and then, okay, if an interesting video pops up there. But again, I mainly want the text-based back and forth. And when everything you're throwing to the top of my timeline are photos and GIFs and memes, it's like I have no interest in that.
No.
Like, give people the option.
Like, the interaction portion was the interesting bit. I don't know how many messages I've posted with at Adam Curry on him now. I haven't seen a single reply.
Well, he doesn't
and
like
I
you.
don't think it's because he doesn't like me. I think it's because he doesn't see them at all because they're not showing up in his timeline.
He's too busy having a war with Adam Horowitz.
Who's Adam Horowitz?
The Horowitz on DH Unplugged.
Not Adam.
I said Adam. Sorry, Adam Horowitz. What's his name?
It's not Adam. I know that.
You don't know, but it's not Adam.
It's not Adam. I can't remember his name.
Horowitz.
John Horowitz.
Jack Horowitz, Fred Horowitz, Andrew Horowitz. Thank you, Billy Bones.
Andrew. There you go. Andrew.
See, it started with an A. That's how my brain works, I guess. Just having the first letter is close enough.
Drew Horowitz, yes.
Yeah, Drew.
He's having a battle on there? I don't even know about this.
No, they've just been going back and forth. And Horowitz is trying to get some
He's liberal, isn't he?
People to pay attention to his show.
Isn't Horowitz liberal?
I don't know. We should listen to a DH Unplugged, but I don't really have money to put into the stock market. So what's the point? I'm a podcaster.
Yeah.
Could be Nancy
Tesla's
Leibowitz
going
too.
back
That's
up,
right.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think I'm almost back in the green on my positions.
What do you mean in the green? Oh, on everything.
I'm not in the red.
So you're not losing anymore.
They're not upside down. Yeah.
You're like, finally, it's what's going up. It went down.
I think Tesla is slowly edging its way back up. Ford, which was my sort of, bet for putting money in for tariffs, is finally getting to that point where they're starting to realize, oh, wait a minute, we're going to have an advantage with American-made cars. Oh, so that's going in the right direction. The only one that's still flopping around is NVIDIA, which I'm surprised by because I don't know. Maybe I'm not. It's hard to say, man. It's hard.
Well,
to
the
say
interesting thing with NVIDIA is they went from being the company that was doing okay because people were using it to play computer games, and that was kind of a dying market. Yeah. Then they went into the AI space. And,
first they went into the Bitcoin space.
Well, right. They went into that, which is also not dying, but for normal people to do any kind of Bitcoin mining, that has died off because of the way we've got towards the end of that
price
cycle.
Of electricity, yeah.
And the rates of electricity and all that. So they pivoted into the AI, and that was great for them. And I've seen just a little bit of coverage on this, and maybe I'm reading all of this completely incorrectly, but I think Apple really kicked NVIDIA in the balls by releasing a computer that could have 512 gig of memory because it immediately became something that for AIs is a go-to. And as crazy as it is, because if you max this thing out, okay, it's a $15,000 computer, but what does it cost to put 4 or 5 video cards into a machine?
Yeah.
It's really not price prohibitive compared to what you would need to get lesser power. And most of these things are geared towards NVIDIA. So right now they still have an advantage, but it doesn't take a whole lot to port these things away into a different system if the hardware ends up being better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think they've been dominating for a long time. Their problem is they have shitty software, at least as far as their gaming side of their products go. It's like they're acting like what you would expect, which is gaming is taking a back seat to all the other utilities for their cards. And I think the problem there is, even though they're still very much the 800-pound gorilla, they're the big guys in gaming and every other thing that they're in. They've just burned so many bridges, and they have a bad reputation that it's costing them their stock price. They're at 108 right now. They should be at over 200 right now, given where they are financially, given where they've got investments. The only thing that logically should be pushing their price down a little bit is the unpredictability of the market as far as tariffs go, because they're a Taiwanese company that does most of its manufacturing in China.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw one of my other posts, is that
Wait, you still posting? I
the
thought you
price-
totally left social media.
no, you left social media. I've been look. Just because I don't read messages doesn't mean I don't post.
Oh, okay. You're a bot.
Yeah. Oh, I got a Windows update notification here. Your device will restart. Okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I don't miss that. That is one thing I do not miss is Windows updates.
Yeah, it's got to update the Windows, which means restart. Clean boot.
I think it's been, if I'm not mistaken, twice that the Apple operating system has updated since I've been running this device since November. I wonder how many Windows updates there have been in the same time.
Oh, one a week?
Probably, yeah. Right about there. It seems like that anyway. And then you add in things like your video card drivers, NVIDIA, which NVIDIA really pissed me off, and maybe I'm missing something here again. But when they started forcing you to fucking sign in before you updated your drivers, like, why do I need to sign in? Why do I need an account?
Yeah.
I've got the hardware. You can see I got the hardware. Just give me the fucking driver.
That's true.
Don't like it.
Anyway, so what I was saying about the
Oh, Gene, are you okay? Uh-oh. That cold, was
damn it.
Was it COVID? Have you been healed? Have you been hydrating and taking your
No,
vitamin
it's not
D?
COVID. I actually posted a COVID test. I thought it might be COVID just because it was lasting so damn long, but I had the what's known as the long cold.
No.
The long cold. Yes.
Is that a thing? I've never heard of the long cold.
Yes, I just created it. So it's yeah, we have a lab out in China working on these things, So basically it's the common cold. It's not the flu. It's just a viral infection. It's a coronavirus technically. But
it's the spike protein.
What happens is, well, that's why it's a coronavirus. They all have spike protein.
Exactly.
But the point is,
fear, monger.
This thing, unlike the normal common cold, this is the uncommon long cold.
Ooh, the uncommon common long cold.
Yeah, that's the technical name for it in Latin. It is exactly what you've had for the last 50 years when you get a cold, except it lasts for 2 weeks.
You need to flush that out with so much vitamin C, you're peeing orange.
Yeah, I am. And it's like making no difference.
And it's
at all.
laughing.
I've been taking about 10,000% zinc and about 15,000% vitamin C, 5,000 to 10,000% vitamin D.
Yeah, but isn't this the normal level of those? Shouldn't you like triple that if you're sick?
Yeah.
Wait, it'll work better.
Well, it's more than triple. Point is, it is making a difference. But I took a test for all kinds of other things. I did one of these test what kind of disease you have if you're a person who thinks they have a disease.
Was this on the internet or is this through a medical professional? No,
this is through a DNA test.
Ooh, CSP would be interested in that.
Yeah, I bet he would. Well, it's not DNA. It's PCR test. And the results are it's not the flu. It's not any of the flu variants. It's not COVID or any of its variants. It's not malaria. It's not a whole bunch of different diseases.
It's dengue fever.
It's essentially giving me a negative to all the cool diseases that are available out there.
It's like you are perfectly healthy. You have no.
And it's basically saying, yeah, you're a control. You're like clearly not sick with anything. Meanwhile, I'm coughing and sneezing and whizzing and yeah. But I think it's on the downslope because I haven't had fever for a couple days now, which is good.
Well, and this started, it seems like when you had to go on the dreaded travel expedition. So was it on the plane?
Exactly, you were probably right. It started on a flight back.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
There was somebody on that
I was
flight.
fine. Oh yeah, they had something for sure. I was fine the entire time I was on my trip, and incidentally, the weather was rotten in New York. It was like in the 30s, and then when I flew back, I was perfectly fine the day I flew back. I was even fine, I would say. Didn't really notice anything the next day until the very evening of the day after the flight. And that day I haven't left the house at all. So it's like it had to be on the flight that I got infected.
You need plenty of chicken broth.
Oh, I've been drinking, dude. I just drank 2 of those last night. I've been drinking chicken noodle soups,
Turmeric.
left and right.
Yeah, you got your quercetin.
I take 18,000% turmeric right now.
What are you? Okay, if you're not peeing orange, you're peeing bright yellow neon. Is the
No, I'm peeing blue because I take methylene blue every day.
Your doctors must have so much fun with you.
He wants nothing to do with me.
You're being fact checked with a boost.
When I call the doctor and I talk to him, he says, "Yeah, you got this, right?"
Right.
I'm like,
you know what to do.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, you got it. You know what you're doing. All right. Call me when you're back."
Yeah, or dead. That way we can.
We'll take you off the rolls. Yeah.
Right.
Just make sure you pay your bill.
Plenty of liquid. I mean, that's it. It was just like with COVID. They like do the supplements and plenty of liquids. Like when you think you've drank enough, drink more. That was the only advice I got from my doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But CSB says you lied. NVIDIA is an American company, not Taiwanese. Founded by 4
NVIDIA?
Americans in the USA. NVIDIA is American, not Taiwanese.
I mean, they don't make anything in America. Everything they make in Taiwan.
Well,
it doesn't matter who owns the company. I'd say, if you look at who owns things versus where they're made, I guess maybe. But Trump doesn't give a shit who owns what. He cares about where it's made. As far as we're concerned in the U.S., it's a Taiwanese company.
Yeah, that makes sense. Make it here. And we have to make the drugs here. Yeah. That is the first step on anything is the pharmaceutical. And there was a company out of...
we should stop importing them from Afghanistan, Mexico, and China and start manufacturing our own meth.
Our own meds and meth, which I guess is part of that.
That's why I said meds, I said.
I thought was it a Swiss company? There's somebody who just said they're putting billions of dollars into bringing pharmaceutical here, which would be really nice. We need that because you can't, I mean, really at this point, say there was another world war. Well, then where all the meds are going to come from? You think your enemies that you're fighting are going to be like, oh no, we'll still send you all your blood pressure and heart medication. Oh, that'll be great. No, they'll start sending you stuff that'll kill you, maybe.
Yeah, totally.
You want to talk about how to win a war? Like, we're fighting China, but they're still providing all of our medications. Yeah, that boner pill is going to do more than give you a boner. It's going to give you a grabber.
Well, they're providing all the medications, not just the prescription ones.
Oh, true. When you look at all of these supplements, that's why it is such, and I have bitched about this here before, but it is such a wasteland. If you're like, oh, this is interesting. I mean, I was listening to the Unrelenting show, and Gene was talking about this supplement, and you go punch that into Amazon, and there's like 8,000 different manufacturers. It's like, how do I know what's good?
I know it's hard because I remember when the last batch of methylene blue I ordered, it was literally labeled as no brand name.
You're like,
and then I looked up the no brand name, and I found the business register for the company is out of Florida.
Right. Oh yeah, that was one like out of the right by that big old folks. There was one for the eye pills that were like that.
Yeah. So it's literally, and it started off a month ago, right? The company was founded a month ago.
Right, brand new. American company, though, CSB.
Company. Yeah, good company. And so I looked it up, and then I remembered that hold up, this seems to be located right next to where I know that there's a drug manufacturer, because I've used them before when I was running that supplement company years ago. And look those guys up. And sure enough, these guys have their headquarters, fake address, where they're warehousing the drugs that they're getting manufactured. And so I actually knew who was making the drugs that they're doing for them. In the sense, I know I can trust the manufacturer because I've dealt with them before. Then it doesn't really matter what it says on the brand name.
Right.
That's irrelevant. It's the manufacturer that matters. And if people don't know how this works in the supplement industry, the name on the company has nothing to do with who actually manufactured the product.
No, who's selling? That's it.
It's who's selling it. That's what you see. That's the only thing that you're legally required to put on there is who's selling it. What you have are contract manufacturers. There's the biggest ones in the U.S. are actually out in Utah. And then there's a couple of decent sized ones in Florida as well. There's a few others, but they manufacture any kind of drugs for anyone, because you can imagine it's a hard road to get all the licensing and maintain all the quality certifications for drug manufacturing processes in the U.S. And so generally these companies, they don't want to just make one drug. So it makes no sense for a drug seller to have their own manufacturing facility with as much effort as it is, unless you're just like huge. If you're, Bayer Aspirin, you can have your own facility making the aspirin. But generally, they don't even do that. And so your choices are, you can use an offshore manufacturing. India and China have the largest numbers of contract drug manufacturing plants. There's issues there, aside from the trust factor, because those plants don't have to adhere to the same standards as American ones do.
Right.
And so if you want to have good, clean drugs, they really should be made in America. And all those manufacturers, you can go through all the certifications they have, yada, yada, yada. So if you really want to know whether a product is decent quality or not, you have to find out in whatever means you have. And a lot of times it's almost impossible to figure this out, but, try contacting them and sometimes you can actually get at the truth, but to find out who is doing their contract manufacturing for this particular drug or medicine or supplement.
Well, and
the supplements are made in the same exact places that prescription drugs are. It's the same companies making them.
And we go through Express Scripts, and it was kind of interesting when I got the last refill on the one pill I take, and the pill looked completely different.
Yeah.
Different markings. I'm like, wait, do they send the wrong thing? So I start looking it up.
Nope. Different manufacturer.
And the other thing that was concerning to me was you would think that little indentation on the pill that usually has a letter and some numbers, you would think that would be registered to where there's only one drug that could have that letter and number combination, but no, that's not even the case.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was interesting.
There's enough variety that they hope you don't get repeats unless you take like 20 pills like I do.
And this was the one that I had gotten, which was the blood pressure, or I'm sorry, not the blood pressure. It was the metoprolol. And
the menopause pills, yes.
The number and letter that it matched, and it was also a round white pill, was an opioid. And you're like, wait, this could be very dangerous.
Yes, confusion, yeah.
And I also hated that now all my pills are little white pills. I'm like, it was way easier when some were different colors here. No, I remember I'm taking this, right. I'm taking this. When they all look alike, that is also concerning, although I get it. It's all just fake bad dyes that they're using to add color to it.
Yeah, which, by they, I mean our government is now trying to prohibit.
Yeah, RFK Jr. You don't want your pills to be pretty colors. No. He wants them all to be little white pills that you can't tell the difference.
Little white pills, yeah.
And where the numbers can match, the same pill could be two different things.
So here's a guy who wants to get rid of the food colorings out of everything. It takes the blue food dye for health reasons.
Yeah.
That seems strange.
It all depends what dye and what
You
it
know,
is.
methylene blue's history is it started off as a dye. Like
Is that
a fabric
when you
dye.
got like Blueberry cereal? That's the was that the blue stuff in there? Is that how they made it blue?
No, I don't think so.
When you get the blueberry frosted mini wheats, is that what they use to make it blue?
I thought it was mushrooms.
That's where I like the option anyway, which is Aldi. When you buy the frosted mini wheats in the different flavors, there are no coloring, so you can't tell what they are.
Mm-hmm.
When you compare that to the Kellogg's
I
brand,
can't believe you're eating Chinese food, man. That's just crazy.
oh, a little young guy, it's great. Don't you like Chinese? As long as I can get
No,
it without
I like American
MSG.
Chinese. I don't like Chinese cereal.
Chinese cereal. No, it's Kellogg's. It's right here.
No, it's Aldi. Aldi is Chinese food.
No, it's not. It's not
Yeah.
Chinese. You can see
No,
it
it
right on
is.
the label.
It really is.
You can look
They've
on the
been sued
label.
against. Mm-hmm.
They're good stuff, man. They do not want
No, they're
the bad
not.
stuff.
They're horrible stuff.
They're
It's
the
a German
greatest.
company that sells Chinese food.
Hey, Germans are good. We like them, except for that one.
Neither
point.
the Chinese nor the Germans are good.
Oh, the Polish. How about them? Are they okay?
Well, hey, the Polish were on the right side of World War II, unlike some countries.
But where are they now? That's the question.
Well, right now they're pushing back against wokeness, so they're still on the right side.
Well, that's true. Until they
Yeah,
get
they're
the.
a little- They're a little too socialist for my taste, but that aside, they're
are they
better
gonna,
than most of Europe.
hopefully they'll take in the new missiles. That would be good, though. The what are they called? The Dark Eagles. I mean, that looks like it's going to be awesome. Have you heard about the Dark Eagles?
No, I haven't.
It is the Army's latest long-range hypersonic weapon.
Oh, yeah, the boondoggle. That's right.
They just had a successful flight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
It is a truck launch system with
Mhm.
hypersonic missiles that travel at 3,800 miles an hour
Yep.
with a range of 1,725 miles, and they can reach the top of the Earth's atmosphere and remain just beyond the range of air and missile defense systems until they are ready to strike. And by then, it's too late, according to Army statements.
They're ballistic missiles. Then.
Which, with that kind of range, I'm like, hey, Perplexity, where do we need to put these then? You know, if we're going after Russia and Iran.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they got a long range. We can put them anywhere.
Well, it says for
2,500 kilometer range.
if
You
you're
could put 'em
going
in
after
Ireland.
Russia. I mean, you know, if you're going after Russia, well, Poland is the place to put them.
Definitely not. Poland is really close to Russia.
Do you want them a little further away?
Well, do you want all your missiles blown up in the first 2 minutes?
You want to get them way up into the atmosphere, and then they kind of go where they're going, then they come flying on down.
Yeah. I'm reading the article about them. Yeah, this is the common misconception is you want shit on the border. Let's look at the old previous border of Ukraine with Russia, shall we?
Well, it doesn't say it had to be right on the border in Poland. Poland's a fairly large country. Don't forget Romania.
Compared
Romania
to
would
Ukraine,
be good.
come on.
And we have Lithuania. We have Latvia.
Oh God, that's not even.
Yeah.
Lithuania is not even an apostrophe in the size of Europe.
So you can put them in Syria as well.
Yeah, let's give them to the jihadists. That makes perfect sense.
And what we did, we make them happy.
Oh, that's what we do.
That's what makes
and
it
now
work.
Trump is having to deal with the 12 years of satiating all these countries because the end result is they're well armed.
Yeah, that as much is true. I mean, you know how much just came out of Ukraine that they didn't actually use fighting the war against Russia and sold off.
Oh, a lot of it's been sold off. Yeah.
That is one of the biggest problems with this whole situation is there is a much more danger in that whole region in Europe because of all of that.
Yeah, I don't think it's really a danger in Europe.
That's where all the bad weapons are.
All the bad weapons are in Europe? Why?
Because they all
that
came
makes
through.
No sense.
They all went through the beauty of Ukraine.
Yeah,
Either
they went through Ukraine to countries that actually use them, and no European countries using weapons.
Probably brought them down. You don't think you've got them in in your basement?
They're in Mexico, dude. That's where we're finding a lot of the weapons that were shipped to Ukraine is in Mexico, in the drug cartels.
Oh, and you're right about China. The Aldi cereals mainly made in Minnesota and Utah.
Yeah, China.
Right up there. I mean, I'm sure they bought most of these companies by now.
No, they're made by Minnesota. Come on. Minnesota is a part of China.
Oh, now it is, yeah. I thought it was part of Somalia.
Well, it is. Somalia is a part of China for sure.
Like,
you look at the Belt and Road Initiative, Somalia technically does belong to China.
Oh, did you?
They defaulted on their payments.
People should really be in the troll room during this show.
Dude, no one gives a shit.
This is the best show on the internet.
It may be the best show on the internet, but your persistence on looking at this has-been technology of the troll room is just hilarious.
I'm now looking at Helipad where it says Gene lied again. Poland is not socialist. Economic data shows Poland's GDP is driven by private sectors like manufacturing, services, and tech, with state-owned enterprises playing a smaller role. Yo, CSP.
And how much money did he send with that?
A buck.
Comment.
Yeah.
A buck?
Yeah.
And you're going to reach it for a buck? Okay.
Now, Oystein Bear sent $2. It says, I love unrelenting, and I swear I don't have a Ukrainian gun. Well, you should get a Ukrainian gun.
Yeah, they're cheap these days. And best part about Ukrainian guns, made in America.
See, that is quality stuff.
Yeah, it used to be the case that you get East European weaponry, and the stuff from Ukraine was actually pretty good quality. But now you can get actual American-made guns from Ukraine.
Yeah. And now Bemrose is throwing shade on you, man. I won't even read that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He was
we could be gone for another 3 weeks if this keeps up.
True. Although that would give me a lot of time to produce the first full issue of Little Comrade Gene. A lot of people enjoyed that.
Oh, my God. Well, you just better be careful about not getting sued for likeness. That's all I got to say.
That would be a great court case. Like, that's obviously me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hey, I don't know how it got your slippers right either. That is the AI just being
That was
scary.
crazy, dude. So I sent an actual photo of my slippers to Darren after he did the little comic thing.
And I had nothing to do with the slipper.
Literally the same color, same exact look of slipper.
I had nothing to do with that. It's all the brain of the AI, which is like, oh, we're making Gene. Let's see, what kind of slippers? He just bought these. Cool.
Well, the AI, exactly. The AI is clearly looking at my Amazon purchase history.
Which is going to make it a lot more fun when you got that kind of information just hidden in there somewhere. But this is, you can say what you want, and it's taking a long time for the AI to produce photorealistic images of what people will believe are human beings. That is getting closer and closer, but the comic stuff, man, I would be so depressed if I were somebody who actually was good at drawing, because this is just making that irrelevant at this point.
Oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. I mean, for comics, it's like, why would you do anything other than AI at this point?
Yeah. I mean, all you have to do, you might have to draw the character originally if you want to really have the minute control over it. But then you go, hey, here's this character. Use it. And it goes, oh, okay. And a Captain Sweatpants says, we all give a shit sometimes. We just like to be something go podcasting. It's an emoji. The screen's too small to see emojis.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe it says quiet. Maybe it's the little thing saying quiet. I see bad eyes. Although I went to see the retina guy, and he is one of 5, I think he said 4 other doctors in the country that are starting in June or July these stem cell treatments for people with macular degeneration. And he's like, of course, I mean, this is a much smaller area. The macula is minute compared to the rest of the retina.
Yeah.
But it's a very similar technology. So he's like, yeah, we're not too far away. I mean, once he's like, this already has been proven. People are getting, he said, somebody with this treatment got 7 lines better on the eye chart, which is crazy because the macula was the one thing too. Once that went, like, you were kind of fucked. There was no coming back from that. So the technology is definitely improving. They're just going to now.
Well, you saw Geordie LaForge.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the question. Somebody was like, what would you rather have, the bionic eye or, the eye fixed? I'm like, I really don't care. The results are what I care about. I don't really care how you get the results. And it will be interesting to see which of those becomes the front runner, which one where the technology will mature faster. And it all will depend on the reason why somebody has lost the vision. In my case, it's a very simple thing. It's not easy to fix, but everybody understands that it's the retina has scar tissue on it. Thus, it is not getting the signal. Thus, you're not seeing anything. So
yeah, you should just quit scratching your retina.
I know. That was after 4 or 5 surgeries where the surgeon was obviously inept, not able to keep the retina up. And what they do with this in order to spot weld the retina to the back of your eye is they use lasers.
Of course they do.
And when you use lasers, then that causes scar tissue, which the last surgery, which is probably what should have been done, the first or second one at the least, was the scleral buckle, which is kind of like taking an O-ring and sewing that to your eye so that your retina has, less chance of coming off the back of your eyeball. But that wasn't done.
Use super glue. That'd be better.
All right. Just get it in there, open up the eye, empty it out, which is always fun stuff. But at least there's some kind of sign that maybe they'll figure this out before I die, maybe right before I die. But now that it's been 8 years of this kind of fun, time flies.
I know, right?
You just need some retina juice. Where's that, Gene? What do I have to eat to get retina rebuild? Pineapple. Yeah, I do that.
I told you this a long time ago. Pineapple juice.
That allegedly tries. Yeah, well, that's part of the quercetin. You got the bromelain.
Yeah.
And CSB is telling me to sign up for medical trials at Elon's Neuralink company. They will bring back your eyesight.
They can take your eyes out.
They could, right.
Or that.
See, the eye is still functioning. See, that's my problem is there's only one small part of the eye that's not functioning. I mean, it keeps you from seeing, so it's not just a small part in that respect.
Do you think that the real problem that you had was actually getting surgery in the first place?
No, because there was a large tear in the retina, and it was already starting to cause a hole in the vision. So that needed to be fixed. The problem was because of, and it's just insane, but because of the insurance, it's like, oh, well, we need to get your primaries okay to fix this before we can do this. Where if that would not have caused a delay of like a day or two, whatever that was, it would have probably not happened.
How the hell did you tear your retina?
It just happens. I mean, my eyeball is more.
Were you a smoker for 25 years?
No, but my eyes, because I was a preemie, very nearsighted, the eyeballs are more football shaped than round. So
I always kind of figured your head looked more like a football.
Like Stewie, right?
Yeah, like Stewie.
How you doing? I'm going to take over the world. Yes, we are. Yes, Brian. We will do it.
Can you do a Seth MacFarlane?
No. I've never really tried. I would have to listen more. I like
sounds
more
like Stewie without the British accent.
Yeah. That is I like more the
I watched
higher
a documentary on him the other day.
On Stewie?
I didn't realize how hated he is.
Stewie or Seth MacFarlane?
Seth MacFarlane.
Well,
apparently everybody in the cartoon industry absolutely hates him.
Why? Because he attacked everybody in the world with his show?
No, because it's like the shittiest
successful.
show of all the shows.
And it made way more money than any of their shows?
Yeah. And it was just basically just copying other cartoons in a shittier way and making money.
Yeah, but what about South Park? Because that is like that is kind of like a 4-year-old drew it.
Well, it's not kind of like it is.
And again, AI is going to be able to create that.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a bunch of Chinese people, but of course now with the tariffs and everything, the cartoon tariffs are going to drive them out of business.
Shitty Walk. Thank you for calling Shitty Walk.
Yeah.
And,
so, yeah, they hate him. The Simpsons hate him. All the different cartoon brands hate him and make fun of him and things. And part of that is because apparently he went to college for cartoon animation.
Well, it seems like he put it to good use. Finally, somebody using their degree. He
was one of those guys. I think he worked for Disney originally, or like the Bugs Bunny or something. Like his first couple of jobs were in real cartoon companies, and then he decided that he was gonna. Like he had the formula down. He knew what to do for cartoons, which is basically just do Fred Flintstone, but with a different, same voice even, just a different, timeline.
It's all about busting balls.
Yeah, and this. Do you remember that one time when I stubbed my toe?
No.
Okay, well that's an example of what his cartoons are. They're non sequiturs that have nothing to do with the progressing the storyline along, but they do take up time, and they're tiny little elements within every cartoon. Everybody hates those.
I guess I should mention too that since we mentioned all the other boosts, that CSB came in with 3,500, which is like 333 before the show.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And he said, howdy, Gene and Darren. Tell your listeners to visit www.csb.lol this weekend. I resume daily drawings. Yo!
Nice.
So we got some of that. And also, Mark Kodra came in with $3.33. Have you heard that name? He comes in with $3.33 every show over on Planet Rage. So maybe he's found unrelenting.
Maybe.
Well, thank you, Mark. And Scott Gorman.
The Bitcoin is up to 95,000 right now.
Scott Gorman coming in
80,000
with $10. Thank you, Scott. And
that is real money, $10 or fake money?
That's PayPal.
Oh, that's the kind of money I actually get. Cool. I like that.
No, well, actually, the PayPal you never get. It's only the sats that go into your wallet.
No. That's not how that works.
I thought it was the other way around.
No. The PayPal is the one that we actually split.
Is it?
Yeah.
And again, another year. I'll tell you, folks. Another year, PayPal did not send me any tax documents. So that shows you just how good the donations are.
Yeah, you're flying under the radar.
We are so far under the radar. Which is
amazing because you're obviously getting thousands of dollars from your other shows.
I wish. Taxes. No taxes on tips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's the Satoshis that have been probably the most successful. And that's not even real money.
That's not even real money. If there's no taxes on tips, going to be hilarious hearing Adam Curry asking for tips.
Yeah, it's going to change right away. It's going to be like, we take tips. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Just give us a tip.
You got to have a tip of the day. You need to know what the guidelines are. Now, the only way that we could be screwed would be if they put something into the law that says it has to be a job where you're making a base pay.
Wage. We are making minimum wage.
Plus tips. So we have no base pay. I don't know why you would do that, because we're just saying, hey, it's just a tip. You don't have to pay it.
Yeah.
If you like what we did.
It's a voluntary tip. Like that I don't think there's any debate about the fact that if somebody doesn't have to pay it, obviously it's a tip.
Value for value overall is tipping. You are deciding that you've gotten value out of the service.
Yeah, I think the thing that Adam obviously didn't like about the word tip is that it implies a small number.
Yes. Although
and value for value implies like, well, what do you think it's worth?
It's a large value.
Give them 1,000.
Right. But there's always been stories of people that have been immensely big tippers, that'll stop and have a, cup of coffee somewhere and then leave $1,000 because that's.
Yeah, but that is just mental derangement. I mean, that has nothing to do with
from the
being
guy
a
that
good person.
Only tips $3.33 for a $500 grocery order.
Shut up. It has to do with a person who has to get their personal or get their feeling of worth out of being perceived as somebody who can throw money at anything. It really is a mental disease.
What is your opinion of the people that do this on YouTube now? Because there's a bunch of people that made this their content.
It's slightly better than the mental disease because
you're getting money.
When you're doing it on YouTube, you're actually generating the funds to pay that back. Like, What do you think? The people leaving big tips or giving away stacks of money are doing it at a loss? Hell no. It's because
not the YouTube
they know that those videos generate enough revenue for them to more than pay for the amount of money they're spending.
But now, what if you're just, an Elon Musk type who has made way too much money and just likes, if he likes you and you're a server, then he's going to give you a huge tip.
He doesn't do that.
How do you know? How many times have you had sushi with Elon Musk?
I've had sushi next to Elon Musk, not with Elon Musk, just same restaurant.
Depend how far was like next to you. Are you saying like he was 3 rooms over tables? Behind his bodyguards, or would like he was at the table next to you?
Like 15 tables, dude.
Only 15. That's how close you got to greatness.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you ask him to sign your Tesla T-shirt?
No.
Like, come on, Mr. Musk. I'm a Tesla fan. Can you send me up in your rocket? Come on. Would you do a flight like that, like the Blue Origin stuff? Would you do that?
God. My God.
Would you jump in one with in your white tracksuit?
Mm-hmm. I would, actually. But the issue with that flight isn't the flight. The issue with that flight is 2 issues. One is the penis rocket.
Well, yeah. There's no question about it.
To do that flight. No. But aside from that, the other issue is with the pretending that you're doing anything related to being an astronaut.
That was the most annoying part of that.
Just call it what it is.
Yes.
It's a really expensive amusement park ride that when it gets way to the top, you can actually see the curvature of the Earth. Like, that's a cool thing. There's nothing wrong with that. The minute they start pretending like they're actually astronauts, okay.
I agree. Now, I'm totally with people like William Shatner, who went up and said, hey, this changed my perspective. That's fine. That's great. It should.
Yeah, his back of his eyeball popped off.
My God, that guy is going to live to 1,000. I don't know what supplements is he on. We need to get him on the show. Like, what? We don't care. We don't care about Captain Kirk. We don't care about anything in your life except what are you taking?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you look good, your brain is still functioning, and he's like 100 years old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you got? What is the secret? He'll be like, whatever you do, don't take methylene blue.
That's not good advice.
Gene will be like, what? I like methylene blue. You could go back and tell little comrade Gene, no methylene blue in your Cheerios.
How else are you going to get them to be blue?
True. You got to have all those things. Speaking of the blast from the past, I was looking up various things and noticed the pricing. I think you were a WWF fan back in the day.
Well, I don't know how big of a fan I was. I was certainly aware of it.
Aware of the sport. You never attended an event?
I've never been to an event live, no.
Because I had a couple that I went to.
Neither WWF nor WWE.
Yeah, it was a WWF back when they were WWF before they got sued. But there was one I sold.
Sued them?
The World Wildlife Federation, because it was going to be so confusing.
World Wildlife Fund. Wildlife Fund.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I thought they were around before them.
Well, I would have thought so too. They were definitely bigger.
Anyway, they're non-competing. It shouldn't make any difference.
It made no sense. It's like, why would you even care?
Yeah.
But that was allegedly the reason why they had to go to WWE rather than WWF.
Wow.
But the Hulk Hogan rookie card, I don't know, is there a difference with the O-Pee-Chees, to double check, because these all look the same. The Hulk Hogan graded 10, PSA 10 for the trading card.
Okay.
One sold in February on eBay, 34 bids, $20,000.
All right.
So I'm like, hey, Dad, I think I had some wrestling cards as a kid, right? Where are they? Because he has baseball cards everywhere. And sure enough, I got 4 of these Hulk Hogans. I got to send them in and get them graded, man.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Wouldn't it be great if you get like a PSA 10, you get $20,000?
Why did you spend your money on useful things instead of stupid shit like records and baseball cards?
Because they're all worth money now, man.
Yeah. They're worth less than inflation. If you would have spent your money on more intelligent things, like say buying Apple stock,
that would have been worth not bad
infinitely
either.
More. Mm-hmm.
Well, it would have multiplied much more. But I mean, this is what, a 25-cent, 50-cent pack of cards turned into a $20,000 card. That's a little more than inflation.
Yeah, it's more than inflation. It's less than Apple.
Billy Bones, you don't need a card appraiser. You need PSA. They're the ones. They're the only ones. It makes 0 sense except that people are fucked in the head that a perfect grading from other companies will still not get you as much as a perfect grade from PSA. They are the long-standing stalwart in the card grading field. And yeah, they were the smart ones. They were the ones that figured out how to make a ton of money without providing anything but time.
Mm-hmm.
And little plastic things that they put your cards into. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, damn, there's a lot of businesses. Now that's one I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Just people send in their cards and you go, it's an 8.
It cost them a lot of money to get to that point.
Yeah, this is true. But basically, the fun thing, I mean, when you follow some of these threads, and again, it's the internet, but how often people get something very close to a perfect, are pissed, and then they just break the card out and send it in again, and it gets a perfect grade then. Because it all depends who you get, what kind of day they're having.
Of course. Yeah.
This is not AI driven yet, which it should be. It should be a computer now that you put the card in.
It should be a computer now. Yeah.
Well, that would be consistent at that point and not be like, oh, the guy got his dick sucked the night before that's grading it. So that 9 becomes a 10. He feels good. But why not make you feel good?
Mm-hmm.
And most people can't really, physically looking at the card, you can't tell the difference between a 10 or a 9 or an 8. So if you know your buddies are sending in cards, that would be the other scam. Because for whatever reason, a PSA 10 in the world of sports collecting goes for way more money than a 9 or anything below. And I'm not talking like 5% more. A lot of times a 9 to a 10 is a 20, 40, 50% jump. And it's all just based on somebody going, that looks good.
Yep.
It's very weird.
I don't understand collecting. I don't understand people who collect anything. It makes no sense.
So how about that whiskey that you got? That's kind of a collection, isn't it?
It's not meant for hoarding. It's meant for drinking.
But then wouldn't you only have one bottle at a time?
Well, no, because you can't get it. See, if you were to actually use your baseball cards,
to sell and make money,
fire starter for a fireplace, then it would have a purpose. But without that purpose, collecting is idiotic.
There's nothing that you collect at all.
I don't think so.
Ponchos?
No, I'd love to get rid of them.
But right now you have a collection.
I mean, you can call it that if you'd like. I call it shit taking up space in my garage.
Hey, if you want some of that shit taking up space in Gene's garage, make a big donation here, or to just do Good Old Boys, or to Sir Gene Speaks and just write poncho.
Yeah. Speaking of, the only ponchos I've gotten rid of was I got rid of a pack to gift to a homeless person for a donation that what's his face made?
Tom Tomsky.
Tomsky, yeah. Yeah. So it literally took me months to even find a homeless person in Austin, which is amazing these days.
Well, you haven't been downtown much, I guess.
Chock full of them. No, there aren't any.
They run them all off? What happened?
Oh, Trump came into office.
And then they all went, gotta go.
There are no homeless people in Austin. Like it was when I saw one at a left turn I was making, I was like, holy shit, this is my opportunity. And he's not going to know what the hell I'm throwing at him either.
Did you at least slow down, Gene, when you were driving by?
No, I threw it at him.
Gene circled back around, saw the guy.
It was a drive-by donation.
Uh-huh. You're like, Poncho!
He hits him in the head.
When you wake up, they'll love that.
Uh-huh. Hey, summer's coming up. Here's your hot poncho.
Yeah. NetNet says he has a bottle of old Rip Van Winkle from 2018 that he can sell for $3,000. He paid $150 for it. I'm not sure that's...
I have a hard time imagining anybody buying Rip Van Winkle for only $150. I think he's full shit.
No, I mean, again, some of this stuff. I bought the Bookers for $50 at Costco when they came. Was the first, and I don't know what after this, if they go for anything, or if this was just because it was the first one they did as a limited edition. They start making pretty much 4 bottlings per year. And this was the first bottling for the first year that they did that. And it was just sitting in my bar, and I never opened it. And my nephew asked for some bourbon for Christmas, and I'm like, well, I could go buy bourbon. But I'll just give him this because Booker's, it's good stuff. I haven't drank it in a long time because it will give you heart palpitations. Trust me, it is strong enough where if you have problems, you probably don't want to drink Booker's. But I looked it up, and that stuff was going for like $500 a bottle now. Because people are like, I want it and I can't get it. Just like you got to get that whiskey. If you can't get it and you want to drink it, be like, what will I pay?
Well, stuff that I like doesn't exist anymore. So,
and Tom Tomsky's like, if that guy only knew, getting a homeless guy getting a poncho from a Russian dude paid for it by a Dutch guy's donation. The world works in weird ways. It's what Unrelenting is all about.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is what Unrelenting is all about. So if you want to help support the show, unrelenting.show/donate.
Yeah, like PayPal.
That's what that will take you to. Yeah. And we made it easy to do your monthly donation through PayPal, to do a single donation through PayPal. This is episode 151. So we're right. Send us some rum, I guess, or at least enough for a bottle of rum.
The good old boys catching up.
Well, that's because a dude named Ben is an overachiever. He keeps buying more guns.
He does.
Can we send in baseball cards for support? Yes, as long as they're graded PSA 10s and worth at least $500, we will accept your baseball cards.
What do you care if it's worth $500? If it's a PSA 10, just accept it.
Okay, we'll take all PSA 10s. We've lowered the bar immediately. One day only. It's P.O. Box 358, Mokina, Illinois 60448.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, if it's a rated PSA 10, then it's just a matter of time, right?
And it's one of those things. I've had this conversation a few times. When it comes to things, like if you go to a garage sale and you find an item at the garage sale that your knowledge is and you understand that it is worth $5,000 and it is priced for like 50 cents. What do you do? Do you just take it and laugh, or do you be like, dude, that's you should be getting a lot more for that? Is there a moral compass? Where do most people, do you think, come down on that? Do you just kind of go, hey, I'm getting the best deal ever and I'm going to be happy about it? Or do you kind of like, does it depend on the people? Like if it's in a rich neighborhood, you're kind of like, fuck them, yes. But if it's in a poor neighborhood, you're kind of like, wow, I'm going to feel bad for them that, you know, they really need the money. They're having a garage sale, but they got this thing that's worth way more money and they're not priced it at all what it's worth. What do you do?
Nobody thinks like that.
What do you
crazy?
What's your thought process? Just it's all about you, and you get it, and you laugh, and you run.
What do you mean run? What are you talking about? Why'd you run?
Literally, you don't have to run. I'm just saying you then leave.
If someone doesn't know the value of something they have, you ask them if they have any more.
Right? You got like 8 more
Christ,
of these?
Man, what's wrong with you?
I'll buy them all. That would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like the few cases.
Have you never walked into a pawn shop in your life?
Oh, every now and then. And we went to it was just nothing good at all. But for the first time, went to an estate sale. And that was, again, like people had no idea how to price things. That, like, if it was a CD player or VCR or whatever, they were all like $50. And the one thing we saw in the preview was a nice Pioneer cassette deck, which I know most people won't use cassettes anymore. But this thing still sells for, on the secondary market, about $600. But I'm sure they only priced it for $50. Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Now, if it was...
No, they don't. They've never sold for that much.
Dude, they do. You can look. Like
That's
right
insane.
now. Yeah.
Is this something that people who trade baseball cards also do?
It's all about, you got to
like
know the value.
That
just like
shit
some
was
old...
It was worth barely $300 brand new in the 80s.
Depends
sure
what
shouldn't
model.
be worth double that.
Every model
No,
is
it
different.
doesn't. There was no $600 tape decks in the 80s.
Telling you,
None.
that's what
Zero.
they go for. You can look it up on eBay or elsewhere.
It's insane.
Yeah.
eBay is where stupid people go to part with their money.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt about
sold
that.
Plenty of things to those people.
And I would be happy to sell more. The only reason I am very reluctant to sell things on eBay now is that we live in the age of liars and scammers.
Yeah. Why don't you start selling, like, renting stuff on eBay?
Renting?
Like, well, it's $250 per year for as long as you'd like to keep it.
Right. Now, eBay has figured this out with sports cards, and that's about it. Because if it's a sports card that sells for over, I think it was $200 or $250.
Okay.
You then ship that card directly to eBay, who is working with the aforementioned PSA that does all the grading. And the people at PSA will verify that the item is legit and then ship it out to the final person, which the person then on the other end can't go, hey, you didn't send me what I thought I was getting.
That's actually a good idea.
Yes. And well
But
worth
then
the money.
Everyone has to get paid.
Uh-huh. It's well worth the whatever fee they're paying. Once you get over $250, if you're a seller, I'd be more than happy to pay PSA $20 just to confirm that it's legit and make sure that the person on the other end can't say, no, you sent me
What
a
if the
brick.
guy at PSA is having a bad day and somebody broke up with him?
Right. And then he's like, not real.
This is not a 10. This is barely a 6.
Well, it's not the grading. It's just that it's legit. It's that it's not a forgery, that it's not a reprint. Now, what you do is you get the card graded. So if you're selling a graded card, it's already graded. They don't have to open it up. They just have to verify that it's authentic. That's all it is an authenticity guarantee.
Well, how do they know if it's authentic unless they open it up?
Well, it's in the plastic casing. You can still see the card. It doesn't even matter if it was graded by another company.
So you're telling me, hold on.
Uh-oh, Gene, come on, Gene. Oh, man, this is not good, folks. Gene needs to get some more methylene blue. Make sure you donate
I need
now.
to drink some more of that. Exactly.
Need some ginger
You're
tea.
telling me that with these baseball card things, they can authenticate them as being real without taking them out of plastic. That's insanity.
Well, if they've been graded by a reputable company, that would be. But yeah, I mean, if you're good at faking these things,
isn't that the whole point of faking it?
I don't know if anybody's ever gotten to the point where they were good at faking it. And also, the one thing these companies do well is they all have a serial number. So if I give you one of my PSA graded cards, if I send you a picture of it, there's a serial number that if you type that serial number into PSA, you will see the card. You will see when the picture that they took when they graded the card. So it's And then, of course, you could still, now, if you know how, you can maybe
So
try
why don't
to
you just
reproduce.
on eBay post the serial number so that anybody knows exactly that it's going to match?
And if you see that, maybe you could just print up another one matching the serial number.
I mean, you don't need to see it. You just put the number in. Say
Well, you
selling
could.
card number, blah, blah, blah.
You could, but it doesn't cost you anything to put a photo in. It's all marketing, baby.
No. Yeah, I know it's marketing. It's marketing. I do not understand why people would buy shit like that. But that's,
I just wish eBay would allow for anything that's over a certain amount of money. And again,
Look,
I would pay for it to have
virtual spaceships, and I still don't understand why somebody would buy a baseball.
That's the same thing. You would just have virtual collectibles.
No, because I can use the virtual spaceships. You can't use a baseball card.
So you understand people then that collect Playboy magazines.
I threw away so many Playboy magazines. I had stacks and stacks of them that were still shrink wrapped, never opened, and were taking up space in my garage.
Should have sold those thousands of. You know what?
They weren't worth anything.
Well, the Playboys no, but you know what I found are worth like 10 to $25 a piece on average. Victoria's Secret catalogs from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, well, that's because they've all been used. There's no such thing as an unused Victoria's Secret catalog.
You're like, it's free. It's the ultimate collectible.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, holy crap, people will pay that for that. But yeah, the people that are like, oh, I've got, Maxim magazines or Playboy. I've got these, I got PC World with JCD. No, nobody wants that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. The things that were never meant to be collectible somehow are the ones that rise to people spending crazy amounts of money for.
Yeah.
But if eBay would offer this for selling, even things like video cards, if you had a video card now that you were trying to get rid of, that you're like, well, I could still get, $500 out of this. Why would you sell it on eBay? There's a 90% chance.
My video card right now is worth more used than it was ever worth new.
So the thing is, you could send that video card to somebody if there is nothing in between you and the guy on the other end. I'm the guy on the other end. I open up the box and then I go to eBay and like, no, he sent me a video card that was 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to prove anything. People are always like, oh, there's a way to prove it. It's like, no, it's going to come down to whoever is in control of the transaction. Who are they going to believe? There is no guarantee.
No.
You got like a 50-50 shot that $1,000 video card that you sent out, the guy's going to say you sent him a brick, and eBay or whoever in the interim, whoever's controlling the money is going to go, oh, yeah, this guy's a scammer. I'm giving him his money back. Like eBay, you really, for anything over a couple $100, they should have a place to verify that it's real, and that at least what
happened to the good old days when I can sell a $2,000 gun to somebody and ship it to them, and they're just happy.
I know, and didn't complain and didn't try to screw you out of the money. I think people were a lot more afraid back then, especially if you're buying guns, that the guy on the other end has a gun and he knows where you live. So
no, that's true.
Everybody's much more polite in those situations,
as they should be.
But we need some kind of intermediary, because otherwise, there's a bunch of stuff that I would sell on eBay, but you can't sell it online. Shop. Well, yeah, but they give you 50%, which I get. It is because then they have to go and resell it. But the reality again is, if you're seeing somebody that is constantly selling an item, on eBay for say $10,000, why would you walk into a pawn shop and say, "Give me 5"? I mean, I get it; it's guaranteed, but do you really want to leave half your money on the table?
You want to lose half your money?
No, well, I get it. That's the other question there. Just like if you walk into somebody's garage sale and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know about baseball cards because I wouldn't buy any to begin with. But if you're looking at jewelry or watches or anything like that, having physical inspection of the item is worth a lot.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're literally just gambling. You're just throwing money and hoping to get lucky.
Getting lucky in Kentucky.
Well, sure, why not?
But if you find something, I don't know. If I were to find myself in that situation, I might feel bad. It would probably go something like this. Oh, here's this item that I know I could sell for $1,000. You're selling it for $1. I would buy it for $1 and then be, hey, I know I can sell this for $1,000. Here's another $200. But then the people would probably try to kill you to get the object back. It's kind of a no-win situation.
What are you talking about? Who's going to kill you?
Anybody, man. You don't live in Chicago.
Well, yeah, you're in Chicago. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
But I always thought it was interesting, and it only happened a couple of times on American Pickers, if you ever watched that show back in the day, where they bought something from somebody and then realized it was worth way more money, and then they went back and gave them more money because they felt bad that they got an item at such a good price.
That's called making a TV show.
I understand that. We're making a TV show right here. We just don't have cameras.
Well, speak for yourself.
That's right, Bemrose. I've only been killed a couple of times so far in Chicago, but it's okay.
I'm amazed Bemrose hasn't gotten killed in Portland.
Oh, I know. When he's out there delivering the packages, wearing his MAGA hat.
Working for his evil company. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are people that just hate Amazon, including my goddaughter who worked for Amazon. But I mean, at least you probably have good reason.
I mean, most people that hate Amazon actually work for them.
It is. Yeah. It's once you see how the sausage is made, once you see the Bemrose sausage coming down the driveway, you're like, nope.
You get one piss break per 8 hours. Yeah.
I mean, it took my brother-in-law working for UPS. He has been there almost 30 years. And it was just last year that he was finally mauled by a dog. I mean, oh, really? Yeah, where he had to be off for a few weeks because he had some decent injuries on his leg. And I mean,
why would you not carry mace with you if you work for one of those places?
I don't know. I'd be carrying a 9mm and saying, bye-bye, Dougie.
Well, no, that's only if you're in the ATF. But I would be for sure carrying mace, expecting a dog anywhere I would deliver.
Yeah, you should always have that with you, knowing that it is a possibility. Spray. But I can't. I mean, that's out there, Bemrose. I mean, does that come into your mind as you're walking down the door? You know, up there, somebody starts opening the door, and all of a sudden, here comes the dog, and it's like a 4,000-pound
maybe all
German
the
Shepherd.
dogs in Portland are actually gay,
or they all might be high.
Maybe high. You know, the one of the prominent smells when you land in New York is marijuana.
Yeah. People like to smoke the weed, I guess.
It is just pervasive. The whole city smells like marijuana.
Oh, Bemrose had a dog take a chunk out of the heel of his shoe a couple of weeks ago. What happened to the dog?
Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, the thing is, at that moment that the dog bit me, another dog bit him. So this is a whole kind of wildlife thing going on when he's delivering.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what people say in New York. Everything smells like weed now.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere. That was the original thing people said about the new casino.
You can go anywhere you want. That's not a problem.
No. The casino that just opened up down the street. People like, everybody smells like weed.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good combination. Being high and putting your money into machines. What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Yeah, he said all he had was a flimsy envelope. If you have the big package, you drop it on the dog that's trying to bite you. That's when you hope you're getting that liquid death.
The serious question, though, is, are you forbidden by Amazon to carry mace? Because it would seem if you're in any kind of delivery position, you might be attacked by wild animals, and you got to have protection.
Yeah, you got to have protection.
You'd want to have protection.
He doesn't directly work for the big bad AMA. He works for a third party that works for it.
Doesn't matter who you work for. The point is, are you allowed to carry mace?
I mean, I think so. I mean, is it legal?
If you are and you don't, then why the fuck not?
Is it legal in Seattle to carry mace? Now, if you can't actually carry mace, can you carry a mace? I mean, that would be another way to...
Maybe.
Yeah. That's more Bemrose, too. To carry an actual mace and just swing that son of a bitch. He says we get into major trouble if we do anything to harm a customer's property, including their animals. Well...
That mace doesn't harm their animals. Just incapacitates them.
Yeah. Just makes them very, very docile for a little while. Just a little, bring a little hot sauce with you in a little spray bottle.
That literally mace.
I'll see a 16-inch flashlight. That'll do it. Of course, when Bemrose says
that's not gonna hurt the customer's property, but mates will. Are you insane?
I'm just there to get a better light. When Bemrose says it's 16 inches, it's like 3 inches. You know, the conversion rate.
Conversion rate.
Yeah, it's the common universal male conversion rate. Nope, honey, that's a 16-inch mag light right there.
You're talking about fish, right?
Yeah, the fish.
Mm-hmm.
No, you were talking about eating sushi next to Elon.
Yeah.
Did Elon pick up everybody's bill? Was he like, hey, everybody, woo, yeah.
I don't know. I left before they were done.
Oh, well, there was a story out of maybe it was L.A., but it was Shaquille O'Neal, I guess, that paid the whole.
That big tall dude.
Yeah, brother Shaquille. I'm over here. Come on, Shaquille. Don't forget me on Christmas or my birthday. That he ate.
You're both O'Neals. That's right.
Yeah, he ate at a sushi place, and he paid for everybody's bill, and then left before everybody realized that he paid for everybody's bill. But it's like that was a nice thing.
That was a nice thing.
Gene's like, sucker, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
He probably tipped well, too, that son of a bitch.
Well, the only reason he left without saying anything is he didn't want people ordering extra food. Cheap fucker.
Bemrose said he's never used the flashlight on a dog yet, but almost had to use it on a fellow driver. Huh. In the throes of passion, or was there a fight? What's going on? It's like, you're on my territory, man. Was it like a FedEx guy? These guys, you always imagine, like, they're going to, like, pull up next to each other at a light and be like, you want to race?
They're like motorcycle gangs, except they're driving trucks.
Right, except they're really big, slow trucks with the side doors usually open. Wow, trying to start a fight. Usually Bemrose just ends the fight. Boom, gone. CSB.
What, Bezrom, he ends the fight with his wit?
Yes, of course. Well, he's a lover, not a fighter. And it's been 38 minutes and CSB has fact-checked us, so we're not doing a good show today.
Fuck's sake.
You should do a podcast. I mean, I hear Grumpy Old Benz is ready for a resurgence. There's a lot of tech stuff going on if you don't mind talking about AI.
There's no tech stuff going on.
Time. Have you noticed? Yeah, it's like nothing now.
Nothing. There's no tech. It's going to get worse. So this is where I was going with the video cards, right? So the top of the line NVIDIA cards that came out a few months back, people were up in arms at the fact that they had a $2,000 suggested retail price.
This is the 5090?
Yeah. Do you know what a 5090 is going for right now?
Linus was just over in Malaysia and they were on sale for like $1,500.
No, they're going for just over $4,000.
Not in Malaysia, tariffs. Baby.
Malaysia doesn't tariff other countries.
Oh, okay.
$4,000 now with 100% tariff.
Who wants that? Nobody.
Well, nobody will because that's a crazy price. At 2,000 was already crazy, but like 4,000. And this is why we have the iPhone exception, right? You know that, right?
Well, the iPhone exception is mainly because
we have crazy tariffs except for the iPhone.
Well, this is because now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Apple went, oh, Donald Trump. Oh, yeah, we got $500 billion that we're going to invest in building things here. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he went, okay, we'll take your tariffs off. $500 billion. That's good. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. We'll never see the light of day, but that's huge.
But it's a nice story, I guess.
It's sure, I guess. But the point is, if that didn't happen, if there was no carve out for iPhone, then what would happen, very realistically, is the next iPhone, the iPhone 17, would not be sold in the United States. It would only be sold in other countries because it's already an overpriced phone at $1,500. But can you imagine paying over $3,000 for an iPhone?
No, I wouldn't.
No, nobody would. And this is a very good documentary that's up right now, done by the guy from Gamers Nexus, who is a hardware software tester guy. He's known as Tech Jesus, and it's like a 2.5-hour documentary where he goes around interviewing different tech companies in the U.S. These are all American companies that are in the computer area. They make either full computers or parts for computers or whatever. And talking about tariffs and what what that's going to do, what it's already doing, etc. And the net effect is that a lot of these companies, American companies, are shifting their sales to other countries. They're shifting their sales to Mexico, to Canada, Latin America, and Europe. Meaning you have computers that are going to be sold by American businesses, but not available in the United States. Why are they not available? Because the market for hugely overpriced computers is very small. And so they are preemptively, as a result of the tariffs, just stopping taking all orders. This is also true of joysticks. I just had one buddy that just ordered some nice, sort of mid-priced joysticks, around $400.
Yeah, that was right on the cover of the Unrelenting magazine.
Yeah, exactly. And when he got his joysticks, he posted yesterday that he went to the website to download the drivers, and right on the website it says, "We are no longer accepting orders from the United States due to tariffs."
Yeah, it'll blow over.
He got the last batch of stuff. The problem is it's having an impact today already. It doesn't matter if it's going to blow over. We've started down the path that already has consequences.
The end result will make it all worthwhile.
Well, I think so. I think people won't be sitting on their phones because they won't be able to buy phones anymore.
Nobody needs to buy a phone. I mean, nobody's really I need a phone. I don't have a phone. It's always, man, I've had my phone for a year. I need to upgrade.
Right, exactly. So I think
it's like buying a car.
It is. And there was a point in time in the 90s when I remember going to Japan and seeing all kinds of technology that was not available in the United States.
Is this just going to make tourism to places like China and Malaysia really popular? Because you go and you buy the stuff and
exactly.
You put it in your anal cavity.
You can get things for half the price that you can in the U.S. Yeah.
Then you smuggle it all in and say, no.
In a lot of ways, this is the same thing that's happening with medical tourism to Mexico. People are getting their teeth done in Mexico. They're getting their drugs in Mexico, like prescription drugs that they have a script for. You buy those same drugs in Mexico and pay about a quarter as much as the U.S. People are doing surgery in Mexico for the same price because you could do a full surgery for $5,000, whereas your insurance co-payment is going to be $10,000 if you do it in the U.S.
Well, you got to keep them running, man.
We're going to be pricing ourselves out of a competitive model. Now, I don't think this is avoidable, unfortunately, because we are recovering from poor choices of 20 years, more than 20, 30 probably. Poor choices of 30 years where American businesses realize that it's extremely more profitable to not have employees in America. And so all these companies, like NVIDIA, who CSB thinks is an American company, they have 95% of their employees not in America.
Right, but they can say they're an American company. Remember the short?
Well, they're an American company because they're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. They have a headquarters in the United States, but they employ very few Americans, and their products are created in Taiwan.
It's like that sitcom where the guy was working for some novelty company, and then they just sent him over to India to run the call center. And there was like one guy left in the United States as the owner of the company, and that was the only person.
Mm-hmm.
Still American, baby. But the information out of it seems this was kind of interesting. The Swiss Confederation President Karen Keller-Sutter on Thursday said that the United States is planning what she called privileged trade negotiations with 15 countries as Trump's tariff agenda threatens to rattle the global marketplace. But I think this is a lot of people were questioning, why did he do it in such a way that it seemed like it was, way too much at once rather than kind of methodically going through.
Yeah.
I think it was because of the eBay effect, really, where I've got 15 of this item. And then who's going to be the first 15 to get it? You'll see how quickly people are snapping them off. I think this comes down to a bit of FOMO. where
I think it is FOMO.
You know,
You're absolutely right. I think what it came down to, but the Chinese know this as well, is this is all just, pretend. This is all like hype. It's this idea that, well, you're going to tariff us, we're going to tariff you back, and then we'll tariff you back, and then we'll tariff you back. All this stuff is going to crash both countries' economies.
Oh, and yeah, with China and the U.S., chicken. If they don't, it is a mutually assured economic destruction.
It is. It's plain chicken, but the U.S. is going to be a lot more hurt out of this than China is, because China, like the U.S. is the biggest customer of China, but China is almost the sole supplier of the U.S. There are very few products that are made that don't involve Chinese parts. Virtually none. And so if there's a halting, and I've said this for many years, if there's a halting for whatever reason, whether it's created by America or created by China, of trade between China and the U.S., the end result for this is going to be devastating for both countries, but one of the countries will simply make less sales. The other country will have food shortages because Aldi won't have the Chinese cereal available anymore.
Oh, I love the Chinese cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Wonton.
I know you do.
Wonton flakes, everybody.
Wonton flakes.
Little soy milk right on top of it.
It's going to get bad, man. And I've tried to stock up on a lot of products in the last month that I knew, including joysticks, that I knew were going to be impossible to get.
How many joysticks have you picked up, Gene?
A few.
The garages, you can't even fit the car in anymore.
I'll tell you what, one of them's already doubled in price since I got it.
Well, see, this is just like buying baseball cards. They're collectibles.
It's completely not like buying baseball cards.
They're all collectibles.
Completely wrong. I'm not collecting joysticks. I'm buying them so that I can resell them for more money.
That would be collecting.
That's not collecting.
It would be. It's collecting.
No, that's called arbitrage. Flipping is not collecting.
Flipping joysticks.
If you flipped 100% of all the cards you ever bought and you flipped those within 1 year, then I would agree with you. You're not a collector. You're actually a trader. But if you're sitting on a whole shit ton of cards and you have one or two that are worth something, you're a collector. You're not a trader.
Oh, new fact check coming in. Bemrose.
How much money is involved with this one?
$1. Bemrose is now in management, no longer delivery driver. Kurva. Bemrose, did you know that? And he said, I also just napped, hence less fact checking. So we're glad you can nap to our show, CSB.
That's the main advantage of this show for him, is he can nap to it.
It's a very calming voice.
It's my soothing voice, and he knows this.
He likes the combination of your soothing voice and my shouty voice.
Yes, you have a shouty voice. I have a soothing voice.
Some people
I don't know
listen
how soothing it is right now with my cold, whatever the hell I have.
Oh, it makes you sound even better.
No, I don't know about that.
Gives you that little bit of nasal range that you've been missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll incorporate that into a little Comrade Gene, not based on anybody in reality or any likeness is strictly coincidental. It's all the AI's fault.
South Park.
Yeah. We need to be hearing from Gene's lawyers.
That's right.
Gene's lawyer be like, that was the funniest comic I've ever fucking seen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you actually use photos of Gene? How did the AI know?
That's right.
It just knows. The recumbent bike, not just for pansies anymore.
No, it's never been for pansies. It's only been for rich people because normal people can't afford them.
Or rich pansies.
You see so few of them.
True. You don't see it. We saw one of them on the street the other day for like the first time in forever.
In Illinois? Yeah. They're very rare.
And without missing...
You think about it, you can go buy a bike at Walmart for $300. Your recumbent starts at about $1,800 and goes up from there.
Without missing a beat, my wife was like, relative of Gene's? Like, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. There's no Russian flag on the back, though.
No, you should donate one to him.
Like you did the poncho, just drive by and just whip it out the window.
Just throw it out there. Yeah.
It's a new way to do things. It's like we donate to the...
It's a brand new poncho. He got one. Don't worry about the delivery method.
I'm really worried about how you donate food to the homeless now, Gene. can of peas. Woo, out the window. Have some chili. Woo.
Oh, fuck that shit, man. That's my reserve food supply. I'm not donating that to anybody.
I've never made fresh chili. I really, it's horrible to even admit that.
Dude named Ben made John's chili, apparently.
I mean, I've got to find something because JCD. The canned chili, I used to like the Wolf brand. There were a few and they seem to have just disappeared. And does anybody have a good
Probably people collecting them.
Right, probably. Anybody have a good recommendation on a canned chili that doesn't taste like ass? I mean, that's really...
I mean, you did say the word canned, so...
I know. This is now I had some of the store brand. It's their fancy brand, but ordered some of the minestrone soup that was in a jar instead. And I'm like, well, they just think putting it in a jar makes it fancier. I mean, it's like twice the price, but it's in a jar. Like the best sloppy Joe sauce I've ever had, it is in a jar. It's like Del Grosso or something like that, but it's in a jar.
Del Grosso, okay.
Rather than in a can. Jeff Bemro says, look for the one that doesn't say ass on the label. Well, they all do. I mean, that's
a good recommendation right there. Yeah.
Hey, it's some fine ass chili right here.
On
Unrelenting. That's why we need your donation, so I don't have to buy canned chili anymore. Unrelenting.show/donate.
Yeah, but all that money is going to go to baseball cards anyway.
I don't have baseball cards. My dad has baseball cards. I had a set of Hooters cards back in the day when they came out.
Yeah, I'm sure those are worth a lot.
Probably more than some of the baseball cards.
Yep.
You'd be surprised. Some of the Playboy actually had cards out too. Never had any. But I've seen a few of those sell for a lot of money.
I don't think I've ever seen Playboy cards.
They're out there, man. You got to get out more, Gene. On the recumbent bike, get out there, drive around the neighborhood when the weather's getting a little nicer. This has to be the time people are having some garage or yard sales in your area. When the weather, before it gets to be like 150 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 77 outside.
See, that's beautiful. You can go out. It's 67 here. But you can go out and find some deals.
Yeah, I think your perception of Austin is pretty funny.
You think people don't do any garage sales? I mean, maybe
this
not
is a city. This is a city with an average age of 27.
Wow. So you're totally fucked. If you left, it'd be like 12.
Yeah.
You're screwing up the average, Gene. Most people, once they hit 30.
Me and Willie Nelson, we're the two guys screwing up the average.
Yeah, Willie, man, I'm glad that guy's still alive. But he just released this week his 77th solo album.
Pretty good.
It was like 150 something total for his career. 77 solo albums.
Yep.
Like, this guy is a machine.
Yep.
It's
fueled by pot.
Whatever it is, it has worked for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than like we do podcasts in a week. This guy just keeps going and going and going and going.
He's done more albums than we've done podcasts.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it anyway. For total albums, that is still true.
Well, he's definitely done more songs than we've done podcasts.
Yeah, that's true. Has written some great ones, has interpreted some great ones. The latest album is him doing a bunch of Rodney Crowell songs. Which once you get this far into your career, you're like, what haven't I done yet? Any other songwriters who I can cover? I can't just keep writing stuff. But yeah, Willie is a national treasure. And once he and you leave from Austin, then the average age is like 5.
Yeah, it's going to go down a lot.
Most people, though, they get smart like about the time they hit 30 and realize they're paying 10 times more for everything that they're like, maybe I should just move. But not Gene.
Yeah. I mean, Adam did that.
But you're telling me that you don't have anybody that does garage sales or yard sales in Austin? That's like
I've never seen a garage sale in Austin.
Okay, anybody have a website where they list garage sales in Austin?
Maybe Craigslist?
For an ass-flavored chili, try the Skyline chili, says DigiGuru. I've tried that, and it definitely has the wrong texture. It's a very weird, watery texture. And it's like $5 something a can, which is like, you got to be crazy. Just saying. We're bitching about chili here. This is why people never know what they're going to get here, but they're bingo cards. I don't think we even filled them up today. I don't know. Well, I guess you mentioned space video games.
I guess, yeah.
Briefly, just that you have virtual spaceships. Were you selling any of those right now? Were you having a sale? Is that what your yard sale is? It's a virtual yard sale.
But I don't think they're selling very well.
Is that because nobody
don't have money?
Nobody has cash. But
Yeah.
crypto's going up, so people should have more liquid.
Mm-hmm.
The stock market seems to be correcting itself.
It's going up and down, dude. It really depends on which stocks you look at.
Another $1 from CSB, and he says, tell Adam Curry to stop shilling for Putin, yo. You tell him. You send that directly to him, CSB.
Mm-hmm.
He will. He will. That's what he does. We love CSB.
Yeah.
We're going to set the new minimum SAT level to 5,000, and that'll make CSB mad, and he'll never talk to us ever again.
That's probably true.
That's too much. No. We need to monetize the show.
Let's call it inflation, you know.
Right. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's inflation, CSB. Just because you're out in Euro trash land doesn't mean that you can't pay American prices. We're putting a tariff on you, CSB.
And we're going to start tariffing the donation. I love that concept. Let's do it.
Yeah,
we're going to need to. So we see here you want to donate 1,000 sats. So, but don't forget, there's a 100% tariff on that right now.
Right. So we need some way to automatically double that without them asking.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's kind of like your donation. Well, look, there's an easy way to do this. The tariff exists. You can't do anything about it. It's there. We have 100% tariff on all donations. So when your donation comes in, you'll be credited for half the amount that's received because the other half is a tariff.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, yeah. And of course, we do still have that minimum cutoff of 5,000 sats, which means if you want to donate and have something mentioned, you need to send 10,000 sats, which half of that is a tariff.
That is
half
simple
of that
math.
is their 5,000 minimum.
Yeah, that's simple. People could figure that out.
This is why I make the big bucks.
This is how you run those companies directly into the ground.
That's right.
Without any waste.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this all works out. Thanks to Donald J. Trump and his vision for America.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way it'll work. So you got anything fun coming up this week? Besides just getting rid of your really long-term cold?
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of my long-term cold. This is really annoying to have had something last this long.
You've been drinking a lot of tea.
I ended up buying a new thermometer.
Why? Rectal?
As a result.
It's the only way to get...
No, it's really cool. It looks like a remote control. It is black aluminum with for whatever reason, a shiny plastic bit on the front. It looks just like a remote control, except it has one button.
Kill?
And you aim it at yourself instead of you aiming it at a TV set.
And where exactly are you aiming this? And so it's
usually the forehead.
See, those I don't like.
You could do it through the back of the neck, even through an earshot, but generally you aim right for the forehead.
Bemrose is postulating you have a vaccine-related injury.
And getting a vaccine-related injury, having not had any vaccines, how is that possible again?
See, now you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're thinking. Maybe you got the vaccine without even knowing it.
Highly unlikely.
Old recumbent bike injury, net's postulating. Could be.
People are smoking way too much pot that listen to this show because that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, but if the more pot they smoke, the more money they might send in. Probably not.
Really? And how much was that comment from Net generating?
Nothing. It was in the troll room.
Yeah. So quit reading the troll room for free. You want to have a message on the show? You pay good money.
We will now be turning off the troll room.
Okay, good.
We are only accepting.
They're getting a free ride, man. The trolls ride. They're stealing our money is what they're doing.
Right. Especially Bemrose.
Oh God, yeah.
He is stealing our money and our souls.
You wanna have an opinion on something, Bemrose, and then do an episode of your own damn show.
He did one.
Well, there you go.
That's
like all the opinion he gets.
They've been on the same schedule as Sir Gene Speaks, like one every 3 or 4 months now. Mm-hmm. Whether people are clamoring for him or not.
Oh, I moved Sir Gene Speaks to a maintenance plan.
You're paying somebody else to maintain it?
Well, I'm always paying somebody else. But no, I'm now paying only $5 a month. And I can't put up any new episodes. It's strictly just to maintain the old ones.
Oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And Cotton Gin sent in 42 cents and said it's a weed boost.
Shouldn't that be 420 cents? God, he can't even do math.
Yeah, it should be at least 420 cents. So that would,
Hello.
Come on, Cotton Gin.
Acceptable donation.
Come on, man. Let's
42 cents.
I know. And then it's
I make more than that in the first 3 seconds of a YouTube video.
He's like, it was 420 sats. That's not the same. Real US dollar money.
A sat is not even a currency.
I think with Helipad now, I think
it's more like a baseball card collectible.
Yeah. With Helipad, I should do this, and this will just piss everybody off too. I think in Helipad, which
I'll do it.
Eric PP has made some nice updates to. I think there's a setting in here where you can have it just show you the current value in USD real time.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. See, like that's what we need. We want to have.
That's always been the problem with that. See, casinos and the other casino-like companies like to use their own currencies so that people don't notice how much money they're actually throwing away.
Right. It's only 6,000 Gene bucks.
In this particular case, using sats went the wrong direction, and I blame Adam Curry fully for this.
Oh, that guy.
Because what he should have done is used Bitcoin, not sats. And then all the donations are like 0.0002. And then it'd be very easy to kind of guilt people into like, really? That's really all
you got?
And instead, you go to this thing where it's like 10 trillion of something per dollar. And you go, oh, well, I'll set this up for like 50 sats for every minute of listening. I'm a big spender.
Ooh, he went to 42
it's less
sats
than
now.
A penny. What?
Yeah. He said, now it's 42 sats. Take that.
42 cents.
And then NetNet sent in 1,000 saying gay recumbent bike boost. That's worth way more than 1,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you got a bunch of cheapskates listening to us. Let's just get rid of the whole chat room thing. Let's stick it purely on X where people know how much money costs.
Or on YouTube.
And do the show on X.
Yeah. YouTube. Rumble. We can be Rumblers.
Well, Rumble, you gotta be well known before you can make any money on Rumble.
No.
You got to be like a Timcast type on Rumble.
That guy.
But all you got to do on X is just sign up for their paid platform and you're good to go.
I'm on there, man. We've tried it. Nobody ever listens because they don't like us.
No, you just haven't paid enough to promote it. That's all.
Right. The promotions are like, would you like to spend $800 so that 35 people can see this?
And so Ben did this the other day and it works tremendously well.
Yeah, but did you actually get any more of an audience?
Yes, got a huge boost.
That paid?
Well, no, because we're not asking for money.
You do ask for money.
No, we don't ask for money. We just have people that donate money on a monthly basis, so we don't even have to ask.
But you have a button.
No, we don't have a button. We literally say if you ever listen to the podcast, it says the thing we asked for is for you to spread the word and let others know about the show.
It's way easier just to give money.
And that's what people decide on their own. We don't ask for it. They choose.
Oh, man, that was professional. Why'd you screw that up?
Oh, let's rerun it.
Okay. You know, that's, if you don't, I don't remember what I said. This is why nobody donates. And this is why it's easier to do that. And we don't ask for it. So don't send us money.
Well, I've been saying don't send us money for this show for 3 years, and you keep changing the message.
So don't send us money. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Oh, and Cotton Gin then sent 4,200, which was more than CSB. And he says,
he gets to say whatever he wants.
He says, is this enough to satisfy you, Gene?
I mean, 4,200 is you're getting to a gooder point. I mean, 4,200 is what, 42 cents?
Well, that's about $4.
Okay, $4. I mean,
Hey.
that's worth about 2 minutes of parking in Austin.
It is exactly $4 right now.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than a stick in the eye.
You know, when it gets to 100,000, then the math will be really easy to do.